How's it going, everybody? My name is Absoulem and welcome back. This is part 14 of my full platinum walkthrough for Hollow Knight's Silksong. In today's video, we're going to be plunging ourselves into the deepest, darkest parts of this world. Just like Bane, we're going to be born in the darkness, only to climb our way out of that hell pit and ascend to the highest peak in the realm. We're going to be showing Drake what it truly means to start from the bottom. So without further ado, let's cue up our foreshadowing quote, which is, "The summit is what drives us, but the climb is what really matters." I wonder what that could mean. But anyways, today's video will be a little bit different than our previous chapters, so brace yourselves for quite the parkour episode. But yes, we are gonna first start with something a little bit simpler than what parkour we're about to get to. I'm gonna first buy the simple key here for 650. For this chapter, you're gonna want to have around 1100 beads. So that key is the most expensive thing. Again, there is the farming, up here with these enemies, so you can always farm them. And then there's also a good spawn just to the right of the halfway home in Greymoor. Right where the bench is in Greymoor at the halfway home. If you leave the bench and go right, the very first room, there's a couple small enemies. You can kill them and then reset, and that's a very fast farming method as well if you want to stack beads. But anyways, like I said, you need about 1100 for the total of this chapter to keep up. So yeah, that way, in case you lose your beads, I'm going to show you the things we should buy first. That way, in case you do lose them, you get that out of the way before I go put you into the depths of the world here. So buy the key, and now we're going to go to Pilgrim's Rest. So come up here and travel. Grand Bellway. And we're gonna go back to that merchant that has the door that he charges us for. What's up, buddy? So we're going to Farfields. And how am I doing on beads? Yeah, I've got enough to do this. So it's just gonna be straight up. And right there. So yes, you can open this door for 30. You can break the gear. I know a lot of people have let me know. I left it shut initially because that monster that we killed outside of this room would have killed our merchant here and ruined the shop. So I left it shut for that reason. You can break the gear up here, and it'll permanently keep that door open. I'm gonna let him stay safe. I just feel bad for breaking his door, but you do whatever you feel like. But I'm buying all of his stuff right now. So we're gonna pick up the tool pouch, as well as the memory locket. And look at that money management. Oh my goodness. Anyways, that is going to give us our main purchases. The rest of the stuff is like opening up a bench and things, like very small. But we've spent the majority of our beads for this chapter just already. So, yeah, the memory locket and the tool upgrades. So now you'll see that we have 2 and 2 on our tool pouch. We have capacity and damage. So that's cool. As far as loadout, this is what I'm running. Yeah, I think that's everything we've gone over. So now what we're gonna do is travel to Hunter's March, where we can meet our NPC again and get some more dialogue, as well as I'm gonna show you the merchant in case you didn't buy everything. Actually, hang on. Oh my god, I'm so used to the cloak. Is this a shortcut? Hold on. I'm trying to make our way to Hunter's March here. Uh-huh, that's the way for sure. feel like it's one more thing over. Yeah, here we go. I knew I was on track. So first, I'm going to show you guys, you probably have not killed this guy, and you left him to get captured. This is where one of those cage guys would have spawned, but now that we've gone to the slab, it's now ants. So feel free to kill those guys and just teach them a lesson real quick. And then I just wanted to show this room, really. There's not much to it, but this is where one of those cage enemies would have been. But he moves to Greymoor, and then he'll move to Biowater again after that. But we don't need him anymore, so now it's just those ants. Anyways, come up here. You might remember the merchant. He dies, unfortunately. The mottled Scar, I think his name was, something like that. But first, we're going to meet an NPC here again. Can you spot her? Do you see the NPC? It's not on the bench. It's not on the right. Okay, I'm done. Like a full Dora the Explorer. Anyways, there's our NPC. She has moved to this area. So make sure to speak to her. She's kind of like annoyed that we're even here, it seems like. But yeah, talk to her. That'll get her stuff done. And then we're going to go back in this room. Remember the secret room on the left. And then this guy has died. Now, if you failed to buy the, what do you call it? The fractured mask, he sells that, and also the curve claw. So if you had failed to buy them, these items will be like right here where I'm standing, and you'll be able to pick them up. So he unfortunately does die in Act 2. You know, just nature of the beast, I suppose. But I wanted to make sure at this point that everybody has the fractured mask, which I'm assuming you probably did. But since we have to come here for that NPC, we might as well pick up any items that remain. I'm trying to, by the end of this chapter, I'm going to be clearing out a lot of the merchants. So that's kind of the overall plan. So that I'll go over at the end, but we're going to be pretty good on merchants at this point. All right, now we are going to head over to Deep Docks. Let's first go back to our. All right, that's what I wanted. You know what? I'm gonna go the other way. I'm not even trying to do that. We can just go down. Just drop down one more. And then one more again. And this puts us right where I needed to be anyways. I was trying to do it the fancy way. So we just need to get to the bellway. That's all I need. Any bellway would have done. Farfields is like annoyingly difficult to traverse, I feel like, to get around. Like it's like that one central shaft and then the rest of it feels like it's just always out of the way. But luckily we're almost done with Farfields, so not too bad. Anyways, we're traveling now to Deep Docks, where we are going to open up a whole nother area, as well as beat a boss and ascend to the pits of hell, pretty much. So drop down, definitely rest at this bench. This will be our main bench. And then also, just while we're here, in case you haven't already bought everything, now would be the time. I'm leaving the shard bundle. I'm not going to waste money on that, but there's that. And then she has a couple new dialogue options now too. So just exhaust her dialogue. I think she has one more after we're done. I'll check. Anyways, drop down. And then over here, you might remember this room. We could never open it, but now that we have this simple key, we can use that. So this will be our third of 4 simple keys used. So far it's been on that door, the one that opened up Wormways, if you remember that one. And then we opened up the green NPC in Sinner's Road. We opened up his cage with the third one. And then the next one will be later on in another area. So we're almost done with the simple key doors, which is cool. So this area is pretty toxic, I'm not gonna lie. So be careful. We do need to gather the journal entries, so try to just kill everybody. And it's also a good place to get beads for right now. So try to collect what you can. Actually, you know what? Let's, I forgot that you guys might want this, so let's go ahead and equip the magma bell. Why not? We have it, right? And we're right here by the bench. Let's go ahead and throw that on. The magma bell. So I'm going to put it in place of the weave light. So, and then also, I'm going to put back my thread storm. Yeah, alright. The magma will help us with the fire just throughout this chapter. I'll probably take it off before the boss, but it'll help for like the majority of this chapter. Alright, now we're back. Alright, kill everybody. There's a shard bundle down here. God forbid we don't get the shard bundle. I know you guys were really worried about that. I know. I know exactly what you guys want. So last guy is right here. And we got some beads. I promise you, we spend a lot of beads, but we also find a lot of beads. I don't know if I've shown off that mechanic. I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but if you like hit the sprint button, you can just run straight up a wall. So I don't know if you guys have figured that out or not. All right, here's a new journal entry. So I just stay right here and I just hit it once. Only needs like 8 hits, maybe, something like that. There we go. So definitely get the journal entry, and I don't know, we need 4 or 5 total, so you should be able to get that complete in this area, and if not, just finish it before you leave. We are going to come back here eventually, so it's not like the end of the world if you don't. But over here in the top left is going to be a tool that's going to be helpful for our next area. So that's why I wanted to come here, actually. This entire trip was for that one tool, pretty much. So, and obviously completing the world, but like, this is why I did this now, is for the flint. I actually really like this area. It's a little bit tricky. It can definitely get on your nerves, but I actually really think it's a cool area. Especially the way you progress through it. So like, as you've noticed, we just keep making our way to the right. So anyways, alright, now we're gonna kill some more. let's continue on. We're gonna open up the lever here. Now you might recognize this room. We have been here. So we have not opened up this door, but if you remember, this connects us to Farfields, and we opened up this room a while ago. So I will show off this left side just in case you haven't gotten this item down here. I think it's a craft metal if I remember off the top of my head. Either way, come over here. There's going to be like a thing you have to break to open up a shortcut. I'm going to use it for beads. So yeah, open up this chest here, and there should be craft metal and all that fun stuff. And there might be... Yeah, there's the enemy down there. So anyways, if you haven't already done that, then get that open. And then you can, if you haven't done it, that means that you haven't opened up this. So there's a secret wall right here, and remember we picked up the warding bell right where that guy's at. So this all connects together, if you remember, way back in like what, part 2 or 3, something like that. But anyways, now we've finally acquired our tool here, so now we can finally continue this path. And this is where things get a little tricky. Now, if you remember, that bench is pretty far back. So just keep that in mind. If you die, that's a hell of a run back. Now, we're going to be getting that spool fragment in a minute. That's pretty well hidden. And definitely be careful. This room has lava at the bottom. My best advice for this area, if you are struggling, is just to really take it slow. Like, I know it might be annoying each time to kill the little guys. But it does help out. Alright, we're gonna go to the right here in a moment. Yeah, I guess we can do that now. So get to the wall, hit that. This is like a tricky area. Oh, I almost had it. This is a good warm-up for where we're going in a minute. Alright, so I don't know if your brain is connected what to do, but you see that little red orb there. I have a hunch that we have to bounce on that. Just like so. Now hit that, drop back down. And then hit that one. And then watch out for that boulder, and now you've made it to the top, so congrats. That's a good little practice run for where we're going later on. So that's cool. So now that is the spool fragment. And now we're going to go work our way to a flea. I'm going to put him in the lava. Oh, I put myself in the lava too. No. Alright, I gotta be careful here because there's not much health. Alright, so I guess I'll kill this enemy. Hopefully I'll get the health. Almost. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and open that up. But we need to go up, actually. Now this is a lockdown, so be careful. I'm gonna try to get heals off immediately. Thank God. Ah! Oh my goodness. What even are you? Get away from me. I love the choice of putting the pipe like in the foreground. Like we wouldn't want to see what we're doing or anything. I love that these guys are just like reckless for their own good. Like they kill themselves. All right. So now this is opened up. Oh, but first we can open up. This is the shortcut back, so that's open now permanently. If you have to do a run back or anything like that. But jump up here. And once we've killed all those guys, we can free our little buddy. Hey, buddy, go home. We're getting close. We're getting close to having all the fleas. All right, now back to where we came. Now there's going to be an enemy that is definitely not the boss we're about to fight in a minute. It is definitely not the boss. But let's just say you can't kill him right now. Definitely not the boss, though. And if it was the boss, it looks just like it. It's not the boss. So don't even think about it. All right. Let's see. All right, we got to go open a shortcut real quick after we fight this guy that definitely looks a lot like... Oh, okay. All right. Now he's going to retreat because he is scared of us. So you just want to work him that way. All right? How? What are we doing here? All right. Yeah, that's it. All right. So yeah, just get him to like move. Let's see. See, this way is the main path. Yeah, okay, don't go to the left yet. That's the main path. We gotta open up a shortcut to the bench. So this is going to drop the big middle area. So yeah, this just goes back, and now you could, you know, just fall down and skip like that whole area. There's also some shards here. All right. Go across the bridge. We're gonna open up a shortcut to the actual bench, so you could have backtracked where we just were, but that would take a little bit longer. This is the better route to do. Jump up. There we go. And now we're like right here. Okay, so now I'm gonna switch my loadout just slightly for the boss fight, which I'm gonna be putting on the weave light instead of the magma. And then after the boss, we'll swap it back. Oh yeah, there is like a thing right here. You can read it if you want. I wonder what that is. I think it would just be like teasing the tool that we picked up earlier. I don't know what the point of that lore would be. Anyways, you'll see down there. Well, I guess we can't really see, but either way, there might or might not be a boss fight right here. All right, let's show how this works. So phase 1. It is just him. He has a spinning attack. Like, if you see him do the spin thing like that, then that's what happens. Otherwise, he has an attack where you'll see him pull his, like that. So you can know which attack's coming. So it's either that one or the spinning attack. That's it. That's all this guy ever has. Anytime there's little guys, I try to just take him out immediately. And then you can stun him and just go to town. Just watch the spear. Don't really worry about the spear guy, because he doesn't actually attack you. He only throws the spear and he slams down. You could be like right beside him, and as long as his spear is not right on top of you, then you're good. See what I mean? So like that's the one attack. Otherwise, like here, I'll go stand right here. See what I mean? Like as long as he's not slamming down on you, you're good. So just dodge the spear, dodge the lava, jump whenever he does the slam. Oh, I was hoping I could get him in the lava. I don't think he's that dumb. All right, I'm guessing 3 hits. 1, 2. Well, that doesn't count. I gotta actually hit him. Oh, damn it. There we go. It was 3 hits after I stunned him, to be fair. So I wasn't so off. Anyways, like I said, the first guy, just target him. Every time you stun him, you can just do massive damage. You could also use the, you know, the tools as well. If you wanted, you could use like tacks and whatnot. You could really go crazy with tools, especially now that we've got our tools a little upgraded. There's definitely that option. But if you can target that first guy, the other guy with the spear isn't really a threat. So whenever he does enter the fight, just dodge the spear, but don't even worry about the enemy itself. And I know it can feel overwhelming because there's 2 bosses, but the other guy's kind of just passive. So it's not as stressful as it might feel. Alright, so now we're going to drop down for a bench. Or, excuse me, a steam room. So this is like a little steam room. You might, if you sit here long enough, it'll actually fill up the room with steam, and you can get like a steam bath, basically. So I think that's kind of cool. I'm going to put on the magma bell again, right there. And also break this mechanic right here. And then you might remember where this goes. From all the way back in the beginning, we are on that very bottom left corner of Deep Docks, where you see that lake. We're at the very, very bottom. This is the room that you first encountered the little slugs. Anyways, that just loops back around to the other side. From where our bench is, we could go left, and that's the path it leads to. So now we've basically filled in all of that right side now, which is cool. And now it's time to go even further down. We're gonna grab a silk eater real quick. To the right here. Give me, how many do we have, like 9? Yeah, 9. All right, cool. Yeah, cool. We're doing good on beads. So drop down to the right. And then we got to get this guy logged in our journal, and we're going to have to get it complete. Again, we only need like 5 or so. You don't have to finish any of the enemies. Like I said, at the end of Act 2, I will show every area and what enemies you need to have done for each area. And then it'll just be up to you to go and farm whatever you need. So, like for example, if I go like Deep Docks, I'll just show you the list of like the 10 enemies. And I'll tell you where they're located with a little map. I'm thinking about photoshopping, like if I take a photo, I'm just gonna like put the icon of whatever enemy it is on the map. And I'll just, in the video, I'll show you all the farming spots for all the enemies. That way it's easier, but like try to farm these if you can while you're here. But obviously at the end, before we hit the point of no return, I will make sure that everybody knows every enemy and where to go. Now this area can catch you off guard. It is, obviously we put the magma bell on for a reason. For this guy, I like to drop right here and then just hit him above. There we go. All right, now we're gonna hit the one on the right here. Now this one can be a little tricky. Just go to the far right or left, depending on where he's at. All right, and that's gonna drop a beast shard. I think this will be the last enemy I need. How many do I need? 3 more. Okay. Oh no. All right, so I'm gonna quickly heal real quick. Quickly heal real quick. That's a good sentence. That's that good old grammar. I'm gonna quickly do the thing really quick, and then quickly I'll do it. I wonder if there's enough to farm just on 1 life, because that would be really convenient. But I feel like it's like 1 short, just because, nope, there's enough. All right. I was like, that would be like classic Silksong or, you know, Team Cherry to give you like 1 less than you need. There's 1 down. There we go. We nearly died for it, but we got the Hunter's Journal, guys. Now hit these 2 levers. That's going to open up our shortcut back to the bench. There we go. And I do want to show this really quick. We're not going to be able to do this right now, but I do want you to be aware of this area. Okay, so just inspect it. It's held tight by an ornate clamp. And you see, we don't have an ornate clamp. Okay? So don't worry about this. This is later in the game in Act 3. It's not a big deal right now. But we've opened the room now, and that's important. So we'll be doing all the stuff in that room later on. For now, though, we're just going to go back to our bench now that we've opened up the path. Alright, and now before we leave, we have one more item to get, and it's right here. Just drop down 2 levels right here, and there is a wall we can open up. What do you think's behind the wall? I bet it's a memory locket. Okay, that's what I wanted. Yep. Nope, that's exactly what I needed right there. Was another spike to the face. And boom. Memory locket. Poor buddy down here. I mean, my goodness. There we go. Alright, so that's a good reward for beating this area. And now we can head back out. Quickly rest at the bench. We're going to go out this way. Alright, now we're going to travel to the slab. Give me your beads. So if we've made it this far with the money, we only need, let's see. You're gonna need 60 for the bench and 40. So yeah, you need 100 more beads for this chapter. So while you're here, make sure you buy everything from the shop to the right if you haven't already. Again, I'm leaving the shard bundle. I'm not gonna get that. But that will wrap up that. And I'll go over the rest of the merchants at the end of this chapter, but like where we're at with that. I'm also going to go over some very important questions at the end of this chapter so that I keep getting the same exact questions every time, and I really just want to clarify everything at the end of this chapter as far as what the plan is and where you should be at and all of that. But yeah, for now we're going to head over to the slab. Again, you need at least 100 beads for this chapter. So before we set out, make sure we rest here, and then I'm going to go ahead and put our equipment on that we need to have. So instead of the magma bell, we're going to trade that out for this new thing that we picked up, the flint slate. Or I'm sorry, that's going to change out the file. In place of the magma bell, I'm going to put on the weave light right there. And then we definitely want to have the Ascendant's grip and the anklets. And the rest of it's up to you. But at least the anklets, definitely the Ascendant's grip. I almost feel like it's mandatory. And then the Weave Light and Fracture Mask are also a good option. And then the Flint Slate. It's not really intended for this, but this feature right here, it keeps us hot for about six seconds or so. And since we're going to be in the snow, if you're about to die, you could hit that and it saves your life. So that's why we actually went to the Deep Docks area, not just to complete it, but to get that tool for everybody. So yeah. let's continue. Oh, I forgot those spikes were there. So you'll see these things, they're like spider webs, basically. They hold the silk. So that's about the only item that's right there. Now you'll notice my health is, you know, freezing, and then when I get to heat, it thaws out. So that's going to be the main mechanic of this chapter. This is, in fact, Mount Fay. Now, if you don't know about Mount Fay, it's not the hardest parkour in the game. It's actually pretty well designed, and I find it very fun. And if you get good at it, it's a very fun. It's like the Path of Pain, but like fun. The path of a little less pain. But this is one of the more challenging parkour areas of the game. It's definitely not the most. I would say the final mushroom secret ending one is a lot harder, but this one is definitely up there. We have this one, the Sands of Karak, which is another area we'll be going soon. And then we have the final one, and that's pretty much like the hard one. So this one's fun though, but we are freezing to death, which is what makes it a little bit challenging. So hit the ring. And you'll hear that familiar voice. So let's go ahead and rest, and then we're going to buy the map. Mount Fay map. Yes, please. And then you'll see some more stuff on the thing. Not that it's mandatory, but just it's an option. But yes, now, as you see, we have the second part of the slab, which is Mount Fay. It's like connected. So we're going to do that and complete this area in its entirety, except for one item at the end, but we won't be able to get that in this chapter. So now, I'm not going to have much time to like really show like what to do per se, because it's all about being quick and you don't really have a lot of time. So just try to, you know, if you need to like rewind it or whatever, but I'm going to be moving pretty quick for most of these parts. So there is a lore sign over here if you want. These lights, by the way, they keep you warm. So if you want some extra lore, here's some extra lore. I've tried playing the needle in and all, it doesn't matter. So just wanted to point that out, and now it's time for us to move. Quickly reset, and now keep up. So we're in that shaft. We're in the very top part of what you see on our map. This is going to be our first challenging spot. So come up here, and it's all about being as quick as possible. Gonna hit that, turn around, hit that. That's gonna give us a journal entry, by the way, too. Come up, hit that, jump, bounce, and then hit this again. And then we make it to the light. So as you can see, I was kind of taking it a little slow, so you can see, and I've already lost half my health. So that's how fast things can go downhill. So I'm gonna probably have to do it a little bit faster on this next part so that we can get there. So this part's a little bit more challenging. All right, and then this is why that cling grip, or the ascendance grip, is really awesome. I can just hang out by the light. All right, so now we're gonna jump straight across, and then hit the enemy. Hit that one, jump once, come over. And then the light. Now there are shards all the way to the right. If you fall all the way down, there's shards. I'm not worried about it. It's like 20 shards, but I did want to make sure, in case you do want it, if you hang all the way to the right, at some point on that wall dropping down, you'll find shards, but you will have to redo everything I just did. So if it's worth it to you to get like 20 shards, go for it. This chapter is cool because not only are we going to get a new ability, but we're also going to become immortal to freezing. Alright, so now instead of going up, we need to go down, and this is going to loop back where we started with our map. So that shaft, if you see the path that branches to the left about halfway down that shaft, that's where we're going. But we need to get one of these guys logged for our journal. There's a checkpoint here if you want to get another one. But make it down here. And there's going to be another new enemy over here as well. There we go. Now, we don't need very many of those. We only need 4 of those and 7 of the, like, crystal bugs. And then 16 of the ones that are, like, floating. So we can farm these at any point, but I just like to at least get 1 logged in our journal so you have that. All right, break to the left here. Let me double check my notes. Yep, we're still good. So again, if you were to die, in the bottom there where it's filled in the middle area, that's where the map is. You have to go up once to the right, and then up the like parkour, and then where the top of our map that you see, it's not filled in, but we've been there. You run down to the left, then you drop down, and you go left halfway down that chamber. So we basically make a big square around that empty area in the middle. But you have to do that every time until you've unlocked the next bench. So it is a little bit of a run back every time, but hopefully you just take it slow and you can do this. This is the longest, like, without a checkpoint. The rest of the game, or rest of the world, is going to have more frequent checkpoints. So anyways, here we go. It's our next parkour area. Barely made that. All right. Onward and upward. Another checkpoint. And we made it. So now you'll notice there's a bench down there, and there's some beads right here. Let's go ahead and liberate those beads. I think they belong to us now. So this is the funniest bench to me. Like, it's like, what are we doing, Team Cherry? Come on. I dropped down, and oh, we made it to the bench. Wow, what a difficult thing I got. I don't know. It's just like one extra thing. They were like, let's make it a little bit more challenging. So now we can fill in our map, and you'll see now we have a lot more of it. So as you can see a little bit clearer now, where the slab is on the map, that's where we came in. In that, the next big cavern on the bottom, that's the map. You go up to the right, up, left, down, left, and then you go that long stretch to the left. So that is the map here. Now there is a room to the right here that we can go ahead and get with some glorious rosary beads. So if you couldn't afford the bench, you know, maybe come and grab these beads first and then see if you have enough. So these are crystals. They grow back. So let me get my heat real quick. Hold on. So we're going to go get a tool over here. So just kind of break your way through the world. Keep on breaking. That's what I've always said. Just keep on breaking. And then you'll be able to knock that crystal out of the wall for a memory crystal, which is a pretty cool tool, actually. It, whenever you take damage, it basically makes a crystal version of yourself that shatters into projectiles. So that's pretty cool. All right, so now we are... Okay, so now we are going to do the parkour section. First off, I just want to show this over here so you're kind of aware. That's the mass shard. That's kind of our reward for the entire chapter. We're going to do this long roundabout way of getting there, but that's kind of like the whole point of today's, or this section, by the way. Anyways. Oh, I forgot to hit the lever. Hold on. Gosh, how dare I not hit the lever? There we go. Okay, so now this is going to be definitely a more challenging section for a lot of you. This is the first time it gets a little bit more difficult. Now I'm just going to try to take it as slow as I can, but I do have to run really fast. So hopefully this, you know, just take it slow. You can drop right here as well. So there, back pedal once. Every time I pop off of them, I'm immediately popping the cloak, by the way. Also, be careful if you were to like whatever your claw line into the wall, the little like dash ability we have. If you hit the light, it breaks the light. So just be careful on that one. So when you're ready, come up. Oh, I missed it. Hold on. All right, now we can't go, excuse me, we can't go up, so we got to go right. And just float down very carefully. And there is a light right here. Oh, I almost had it. Let's try it again. Now there is a secret. Oh, of course. Of course. Really now? You know what? I'm gonna come back and get that. We have to come back this way anyways. I'm gonna wait till I have the immunity to cold. Alright, now we have to go up to the bench. Now there is a shortcut later for a future area, so make sure you drop that down, and that's actually going to open an area up later. So we're going across. We came from below, if you remember. So I think I need like 3 more of those, so I'm not really worried about it too much. Alright, so dropping down, that's where we first came up, so don't do that. Now we're going to make our way up and over to the right for a bench. So hidden bench right here. That's pretty cool. All right. Now definitely the more tricky spot. Oh, you gotta kind of go to the right really quick. Well, let me reset. All right, now that platform to my right is for Act 3. There's a different enemy there. So if you thought it looked a little weird at that platform, you're right. It's later on. You gotta pogo off of this if you can't make it over. It's. Oh, I broke the light. Great. Well, no going back here. All right, you can get up, but sometimes if you can't get over, you can pogo off the like spikes or whatever. But you should be able to hop up and over. All right, now, yeah, we're almost there. I promise. Before you go up, though, there is some silk right here if you need it. Now we're going to go all the way up. And then interact to get the faydown cloak. I sure hope a big-ass bird doesn't come and kill me. That's my first thought when I summit the highest peak in the realm. I think I'm like Gandalf. I just summoned the eagles. Take me. What do you think it said? The faydown cloak, aka double jump. This is a huge ability. Now we can actually access pretty much everywhere in the game. With the exception of one more skill that we need, we can access everywhere in the game now. That's going to open up like all of Act 1, all those secret areas now. We can access pretty much everything. So that's huge for us to have the double jump. We still have the like float. It's just after the first like bounce, then you can float. So yeah, that's exciting. But what they don't tell you is that the faydown cloak also keeps you warm. It doesn't let you freeze to death. So that's huge. We're gonna drop off to the right. And there is a secret bench in here. So go ahead and rest there. And now you'll see that we filled in that whole map. The only thing I didn't pick up was at the very bottom where the slab is, like I said, there's the shards all the way to the right, where you can like fall down. And then again, where you see that like diagonal slope, kind of like at the very top right in the diagonal part, there are shards against the wall that you slide down on. I think it's like where that bench is, halfway up. That's like kind of nearby, but you'll see them if you feel like it. It's just up, like it's just shards, but like I'm not too worried about shards. All right, so now we can come this way. I will get these shards though. And then anything else in this world, we're gonna come back for, because we have to fight a boss here that's a secret boss, and then also there's a couple items we can't get yet. So this is basically the first cursory level. We're gonna get like 90% of what's in this area. So don't worry if you think that like there's more items. We are coming back. All right, so now let's go snowboarding. Just be careful for the spikes. I was a snowboarder for my college, so it's bringing back memories. When I used to shred the gnar, bro. All right. Oh, I almost had it. This is a tricky little jump here. There you go. You have to like bounce off of them with the claw line and then double jump again, and you should be able to get it. It's a little tricky, but it's going to be worth it when you see where we're going. There we go. Yeah, so the claw line with the double jump, you can get a lot higher up if you time it right. I would get really used to, like, when you like claw line like that, as soon as you pop off an enemy, I would hold the double jump and then the cloak, and that'll get you higher up. But anyways, this is a similar in Hollow Knight, the mask maker. This guy is like, yeah, like they had it in Hollow Knight as well, where he knows like everything about the kingdom. He knows all the lore, and he gives us like really crucial lore. He doesn't really do much for us, but this man makes the masks for all the enemies and stuff. Like, he's basically like Father Time for us or something. Like, he just has all the lore. So I wanted to point out that he's up in his little nook up here. So say hello to him. I told you it'd be worth it. Oh, I forgot there was spikes. Alright, so now we are at the bottom here. So now it's time to drop down. And this is back where we were. So this is basically that, on the far left, the big diagonal slope. We're right at the top where the map cuts off. So now we need to drop one more floor down, and you'll probably recognize where we are now. That's where I said we can't go up. So that's all that we missed right there. So now we've made a big circle. So now it's time to go get that one item I was talking about now that we have immunity to cold. You can't stop me, game. I can stay in the air forever. Alright. We freed that flea. This place can be a little challenging because like the ice breaks and then you die to cold. So that is pretty much everything. Now we just need to go get the mask shard. So we're gonna loop back around. And again, that area above us, when we get to Act 3, we're going to open up an ability that allows us to, like, skyrocket in the air. And that'll let us go access a secret area up there. For an additional mask shard. So now we just drop down. This area is pretty much all about just making, like, loops. It's a pretty well-designed area, in my opinion. Yeah, I only need 2 more, so those guys are not going to take long to farm. I mean, like, we're pretty freaking god tier at this point in this game. We can maneuver like crazy now. Alright, so back to claim our mask shard. So now that we have the double jump, we can come up here and grab that. Alright. Hold on, I bumped my microphone. Alright, so now we are just going to make our way back. I mean, like, aren't we, like, next level? We can just stay in the air forever with something. Or at least most of the time. There's like 10 or 11 abilities. only need one more of those guys. Ira, did you miss me, you big goofball? Alright, back to the Grand Bellway. And back to home base here, where we can pick up a couple new wishes. See, I had us buy that simple key because once we do that area and all, our boy has now gone missing. So I wanted to get that key before he dipped out on us. But anyways, the Lost Merchant, we're going to pick that up. We'll go find our Lost Merchant in the next chapter. And then we also want to pick up the Wailing Mother. So again, we're going to do these wishes in the next chapter. I think I'll do it in the next chapter. I should. So don't try to like do them right this second unless you know where to go. But yeah, that's pretty much that. Feel free in the meantime, if you want, to start farming whatever enemies you have. Again, they arrange the enemies by area. So, I mean, I'm sure you've noticed, but like, you can really go back and start farming enemies if you want to keep yourself busy. You know, that'll farm beads in and of itself. So you can start chipping away at whatever you have. You know, and like get prepared for when we get to the end of the game, you won't have to farm as much. So if you're like trying to find something to do between the next upload, farm beads, farm enemies. That's really like the best thing you could be doing. Now, as far as our main missions here, as you can see, we're getting pretty leveled up. We have a bunch of memory lockets. We have almost all of the crests. We just have 2 more. So we're doing really good on like leveling up. We're starting to make a good collection of tools here. But I wanted to quickly, before we like call it a day here, I wanted to showcase the merchants. So we have the one in Bone Bottom that we've now cleared out. We have the Pilgrim's Rest, which I've now cleared out. There's the Hunter's March that we have now cleared out. So that's like all of those. And then there's the lady, the Forged Daughter in Deep Docks, which we've also cleared out. So all of the early game merchants, you should at this point be done with them. The next ones would be Bellheart, which we still have a couple items left in Bellheart. So if you wanted, you could start buying those items. And then we have, let's see. We have the Architect in the Underworks, which still has a few items, I believe. That's the ones that require craft metal, though. So feel free to work on the Bellheart and the Underworks merchants as well in your downtime. Those are the only 2 merchants we have. And then we haven't accessed the Blasted Steps where Grindel's shop is. We will get that now that we have the double jump. I will get that in probably the next chapter. We're going to be doing the Sands of Karak next, which is the area between Mount Fay and Blasted. And it's actually what connects these areas together. So I imagine we'll get to Grindel's shop next chapter and get that going, along with a few other spots in the slab. But yeah, basically we have the Bellheart and the Architect are like our couple merchants, and then next chapter we'll get our the first shrine merchant back, and we'll also meet Grindel. So I guess I wanted to cover all that because there's not much to buy at this point, and I just want to kind of remind you of what's out there that you could be working on. So Bellheart and the Architect, those are your 2 merchants to maybe work on. Otherwise, farm the enemies in the journal. Now, that's everything for this chapter. Before I go, I did want to mention the plan for this walkthrough. I get probably 2 or 3 messages every time I upload and multiple comments asking the same question, which is, what is the layout for this? And I'm doing 2 walkthroughs pretty much. Like, we're doing the full completionist. This run, I don't expect people to get the 30 hour. Is it possible? Yes, absolutely. You can definitely do the 30 hour in this playthrough. But I'm showing you all the secrets, the Easter eggs, the secret rooms, all the rosary beads, everything you have to do to get the completionist trophy. We are basically doing everything, and as well as the secret ending, which is even more time consuming. And then on top of that, we're also going to do most of the trophies in this run. So that being said, that's not all required for like the 30-hour speed run. It doesn't require nearly as much as what we're doing in this playthrough. So it is possible to get the 30 hours. Like I think at this point I'm at like 17 hours or something. But you could definitely be less. I've spent a lot of time talking to you guys like I am now. So it's possible. But the next part, after I finish this playthrough, we will have every trophy except for the 30-hour speedrun and the 5-hour speedrun. I will upload the 5-hour speedrun and show you verbatim what to do. And I'm just going to upload the full gameplay. And that'll show you that trophy. And then I'm also going to do the 30-hour speedrun and show you what's needed. I'm going to show you the most optimal route, because obviously we do a lot of double backing in this run because there's secrets, we're progressing NPC storylines. All the NPC stuff's not really needed. So a lot of our backtracking I'm doing just to like progress certain quest lines. So in the 30-hour one, it's going to be a lot more efficient is the best way I can describe it, and a lot less of the secret areas. It's going to be just whatever's required. So yeah, that's the plan. Playthrough is completion, second playthrough is 30-hour, third is the 5-hour. So hopefully that clears up everything, because I keep getting it. And also, if you're in the comments and you see that question, you know, feel free to like let them know what the plan is, because it's every part. But yeah, that's everything. I'm going to rest at this bench and call it a day, and I will see you in chapter 15 of our Platinum walkthrough. All right, thank you. Bye.